Do you think AI data is safe? No, it is not. Your AI data, a remote code execution flaw, has been exploited. It allows any attacker on the internet to take full control of vulnerable langflow servers by exploiting an API endpoint flaw. What is langflow? It's this. Stop fighting your tools, bro. langflow is a low-code tool, bro, for developers that makes it easier to build powerful AI agents, bro, and workflows, bro, that can use any API, model, or database, bro. Used by... Now, these aren't like the most high-profile names, but I recognize some of these. I absolutely recognize some of these. They're not small either. They're about medium size. And you can imagine that people sit down in front of this tool and they have all this kind of data that's proprietary or private or whatever. And then they just do plug and play, plug the data in here, plug it out there and let the AI do its thing and yada, 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 yada. And everything is peachy and grand, and oh my God, how easy it was, and I can't believe how cheap this was. It was totally worth it. We replaced an entire team of developers for this because it was so easy, right? Your entire server, the entirety of it, fullness, in full, can be controlled because of an API endpoint. It provides drag and drop interface to create, test, and deploy AI agents or pipelines without writing full backend code. The tool, which is nearly 60,000 stars and 6.3 thousand forks on GitHub, is used by AI devs, researchers, and startups for prototyping chatbots, data pipelines, agent systems, and AI applications. langflow exposes an endpoint, API v1 validate code, designed to validate user-submitted code. In vulnerable versions, this endpoint does not safely sandbox or sanitize the input, allowing an attacker to send malicious code to that endpoint and have it executed directly on the server. However, this is so ridiculously stupid. How do you have an API endpoint? I do actually have a little bit of a conspiracy theory. How do you have an API endpoint called API v1 validate code where you do not validate code? There is an answer. There is an answer that makes sense to me. What is that answer? I think this company used an AI model to generate that API endpoint. All vibe coded, baby. Yeah. API, please hack my site, my tech on YouTube. In any case, that's what I think happened here. That's what I actually think happened. And there's only one other reasonable answer that you could come up with for this, which is the same thing. The reason why I do the daily tech news streams and why every single day, save for I think so far 2 days at most, I have had every news stream include a security issue where somebody did not properly configure security. Google Cloud Services, I have a backlog of them. I actually have a backlog of them, okay? Amazon has 3 buckets, API endpoints, passwords on hardware. There was like a robotic dog we went over the first week or something, the second week of Daily Tech News. Literally the default password was pi. Or no, the default username was pi and the password was 123. Literally, just yesterday, I believe, we went over the passwords that are being reused and recycled. Literally things like admin, literally password 12345, right? These are simple things. Leaving keys inside of your repository, like actual keys, like all this stuff is super preventable. And that's why I say that there's positive news behind all this dark news, which is a vast majority of what we do can be prevented very, very easily. Very easily. We could turn this ship around.